Welcome to Ohio University's 3-year Standard Report training. The OB Standard Reports provide a consistent university-wide view of budgets, actuals, and forecasts. These reports were developed so executives, CFAOs, and budget staff are reviewing the same data built the same way across all units. In order to access the standard reports, you would go to obi.ohio.edu. Once you are logged in, you would then navigate to Dashboards, then select the Finance and Administration Dashboards, and then Standard Reports. This will open up the 8-year and 3-year reports. Today we are going to review the 3-year report. Typically, the 3-year report is used for short-term planning, limited multi-year planning, and year-end planning. The 3-year standard report displays 3 fiscal years of data. And the first selection is the fiscal year. It defaults to the current fiscal year, but if you're wanting to look up prior fiscal years, you may do so at the selector. The next field is the budget unit selector. You can select the drop-down to the right in the selector and navigate to the unit in which you're wanting to locate, or you can simply type in the field the unit's name and select it from the choices below. A budget unit is a defined collection of organizations used for budgeting and reporting. This selection is required for meaningful results. Next is the org parent level. The org parent level is a way to filter results down even further. The org parent level is an internal organizational hierarchy that begins with A, which is university and executive level, both A and B. Level C is the planning unit level. Level D is regional campuses, if applicable. Level E is departments, and organization and values proceed after that. This is not a required field, so we'll leave that blank for today. The next selection that you have is the operations unit. This does default to Athens, College of Medicine, regionals, and auxiliaries. The financial statement adjustments is not selected as this is a non-operating entity. Users may deselect some of these areas if you choose to do so, but today we'll go ahead and leave them as checked. And then the next selection is the forecast version. It defaults to the most recent version that is available, or you can go back to prior versions as well. The next selector is the sources to include selector. This defaults to all sources, but you can filter down to just the general ledger or the GL only, or you can do grants only. But again, I'm going to allow it to default to all sources. The next selector is a required field. This is the year-to-date actuals. We recommend that you select the last mostly completed month. That way you get the entire month. So I am currently in the month of April, so I'm going to select March. The next selector is the org number description. The org number description breaks down each unit per organization number. If you want to select more than just one organization number, you can actually type up here the organization number that you'd like to choose, and it will bring in any organization number that will have those numbers in it. Or if you want to select multiple organization numbers, you can click More, and then again, start typing in the number in which you're wanting to select, and you can select one and move it by clicking the arrow to the right, and it will throw it into the selected box. You can select many by clicking the first one, hitting your shift button and then hitting the last one and then hitting that right arrow as well. And this will move a whole group of numbers over into your selected area. If you want all of the organization numbers that's listed in the left moved, you can hit the double arrow and that moves all organization numbers over to your selected. We're going to do the arrows back to the left, and we're only going to select a few for this particular demonstration, and then we're going to click OK. The next selector is the org parent number description. This is very similar to the org parent level that I explained earlier regarding A, B, C, D, and so forth. You do have the ability to select units by the org parent descriptor if you like. That is also not a required field. The next section is the entity parent number description. It does default to just the operating entities, but you can select all entities, or you can even select the non-operating entities if you choose so. From there, we'll move over to the source group. The default for this group is unrestricted, designated, gifts, and restricted. The ones that are not selected is non-operating, and that's primarily used for the Central Finance Office and for balance sheet related transactions. And then the other is for agencies. Agencies are primarily used by just select groups of individuals here at the university who are partners for progress, and they act as stewards and not necessarily Ohio University entities. The next is show line numbers. It defaults to yes, but we do recommend that you select no, as this will help take some of the additional information and noise out of the report once it is generated. And then the last field, or the last selector, is to include OU or OUF. It does default with both of them being selected, but if you're only wanting to see Ohio University, you can deselect OUF or OU Foundation, and vice versa. If you only want to see OU Foundation, you can unselect OU. But we're going to go ahead and have both of them selected at this particular time, and then we're going to click Apply. The one key difference between this report and the 8-year report is this toggle button here about showing object details. So right now it does not show the object details. So in object lines, it just shows the names of each sort of object code down in your report. If you click the Yes button, what that does is that will actually provide the object code number and a description of each object code that rolls up to this main object line. So for this grants and contracts, we have 421100, grants, contracts, federal. For internal sales, as you can see, we've got several that are listed here that roll up to the internal sales. So that's a neat little feature in this report that is not in the 8-year report currently. In this report, as you can see, it does generate FY26 forecasts, budget. It does accruals for July through March, actuals. It does full fiscal year actuals, and then the percentage of the budget that has been spent thus far. And it also provides the last 2 fiscal years previously. It does the budget for both years. Again, July through March actuals for that year, for both years. Full fiscal year actuals, and then the percentage of the budget that was spent. Some other key points to point out is regarding the non-bold and the bold object line information. The non-bold green clickable text, you can click here and it will take you over to the full details screen so you can look further into what's going on. In order to go back, you can click down here on what we call the breadcrumbs. There's these blue clickable links at the bottom left corner. You'll want to click back there to get back to your original report. If you click up in the back button for the browser, that will clear all of the prompts that you have entered in above, and you'll have to re-enter the prompts. So the light green or non-bold Text links are those that are only used internally for tracking purposes. The bold links, you can also click into those as well, and it will give you further details just like the non-bold links do. And again, you want to use the breadcrumbs at the bottom left to navigate back. But the bold links are for those items that will be used in our official financial reporting to external agencies and for our budget books. In order to export the information that is in the report so you can do further manipulation and analytics, you can go to the bottom left of the report, click the export button, hover over data, and then click the Excel version. From there, you can click the report that is generated in your downloads and open the report in Excel so that you can apply any filters and do further analysis on the items in which you're wanting to look at. Thank you for joining us for the 3-year standard report training. We hope you will join us for future training and demonstrations.